welcome to another episode of The Latest with Maya. Today, I am very excited to be talking with singer Morgan St. Jean. Morgan, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to be talking with you.
You're so sweet. I'm very excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so let's dive right in. Um, do you have a specific songwriting process or any rituals you do before writing a song?
I don't have a specific process. For me, it's really about, I care most about lyrics. That's the thing that I care so much about. And so I always have my phone on me and I'm always kind of looking for inspiration in various places, just in daily life. And I usually start with a concept or a title. And I'll be like, oh, that would be a cool title. Or, oh, I saw this Instagram caption that I thought was cheeky and that could be a cool song. Or, like one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, it was inspired by Grey's Anatomy. So I'm always kind of on the lookout for cheeky ideas or titles that seem interesting, or even just paying attention to what I'm going through and what my friends are going through, and could that be a song? So that's kind of, I always start there with a concept or a title, or going based off of what I'm feeling in that moment. And then in terms of like rituals, honestly, I think as a creative person, it's just so important to take care of your mental health and take care of your ability to be creative. So walks are really important to me. Like I love to go for a walk every morning and get some sunshine and get some coffee and listen to something that inspires me, whether it's music or a podcast. I try to journal every single day. So things like that really keep me creative.
Oh, cool. I love that. Um, so I love your music and your songs are so meaningful. Is there one of your songs that is the most meaningful to you?
Well, thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate that. I think my I just put out an EP in June, and it's called Skin and Bones. And the title track of that song is really just important to me. And I think it's a really special song. And it's a song that, if anyone ever defined me by that song, I think I would be really proud of myself. And I think I would be really proud of that. It's just sort of about loving people, you know, regardless of their gender or their sexuality or their race or their religion. It's just about loving people for who they are on the inside instead of the outside. And I think that's such an important concept. And I think it's a concept that, if more people in the world felt that way, I think a lot of people would be happier. And so I'm really proud of that song. Also on that EP, there's a song called Good Swimmer, and it's sort of like it's kind of flies under the radar. It's not, it wasn't a single, it wasn't the big one that I've been, posting about on social media or anything as much, but it's a song that I wrote about being persistent and not giving up on my dreams because, being a musician can be really hard and it can be really discouraging. And I wrote that song when I felt like I don't know if I can do this anymore. And it really inspired me and reminded me of who I am and that I am really tough and I am really resilient and I'm not going to give up on the thing that I care about most.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that EP.
Oh,
So,
that's so nice.
yeah. So were you surprised by the incredible response to your song Not All Men?
I was really surprised. And then once I kind of started to see all the DMs that I was getting and read through them and talk to other people and other women, and I kind of realized that maybe I shouldn't have been so surprised because it's such a universal experience. And especially women, whether it's as serious as being assaulted or as, still serious, but something that happens every day, which is like getting catcalled on the street, women know what it feels like to be scared in their own in their own body, and they know what it feels like to feel unsafe just existing in the world. And so it breaks my heart that it's a song that was so relatable and that so many people connected with. but I also think it makes me proud that we're talking about it and that we're all kind of coming together to say, hey, this is what we experience and that's not okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I first heard the song and I was just like immediately when I heard it, I was just crying because I was like, this is this is how I feel and how I know so many women feel. And
Yeah.
so just to have somebody put that into words that like why we're always hesitant when meeting someone new and
Right. And I think that's honestly too why, like, I don't know if you've seen the Barbie movie,
yeah,
but
I
it was
love that
amazing, right? It
movie.
was so
Yeah,
good. And I
it
think part of the
was.
reason why that resonated with people is because it's like women have such a unique experience in the world and we have such unique struggles. And when someone can verbalize it or put it into a story and make it digestible for the masses, it's so powerful. And I think it makes us women feel so seen.
Yeah,
And that's really my goal with my music is like, I want people to feel seen and valued and understood because, we all go through similar stuff. Even
yeah,
if it's different, we go through a lot of the same experiences and a lot of the same emotions. And so I really hope that my music can be that thing where someone says, like, I feel so seen. That's exactly how I feel.
yeah. Oh, I love that. Is there a song that you are currently obsessed with?
Yes, a lot of songs. I've been really into Kelly Clarkson. She released an album and there's a single called Mine, and it just like makes me cry. I just think it's so beautiful. I think, again, speaking of the Barbie movie, the Billie Eilish song, What Was I Made For, is so powerful. And so she just blows me away too because she has such an ability to put these just universal truths into music at such a young age. I just think she's incredible and she's like changing music. So, and then obviously, I think along with everybody, I've been obsessed with Taylor Swift and her re-releasing all of her old music, Taylor's version, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah. I agree with all of that. Um, yeah, I actually recently went and saw Kelly Clarkson in concert, which
Oh,
was the coolest thing ever.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, so that was just so cool because I went with my mom and my sister, and when she sang I Hate Love, we were all screaming that
Oh my
at the
God.
top of our lungs.
She's so amazing and she's so
Yeah,
unbelievably talented, but she also just seems like
yeah,
such a cool person. And that's my favorite thing to see. Same with Taylor
yeah,
Swift. Taylor Swift is the biggest pop star in the world, probably. And she does all of these incredible acts of charity for various people. And she takes care of the people in her circle. And I just think she's amazing. I think, and
yeah,
as I think Kelly Clarkson is too.
yeah, me too. Yeah. Is there an artist or a song that you consider to be the gold standard when it comes to songwriting and storytelling?
That is a fantastic question.
Thank you.
And no one's ever asked me that. I have to think about it. I think someone once told me the best songs are the ones that can be played at a birth and at a funeral, which I think is a really interesting idea. And
Yes,
I think, a song like I Will Always Love You really encapsulates that feeling. It's a song that could be played at both a birth and a death. My personal, like, I wish I had written this song is I Can't Make You Love Me by Bonnie Raitt. I think it's just so heartbreaking and just it makes me cry every single time. And for a song to be able to pull out that kind of emotion, even when you've heard it a zillion times, I think is so powerful.
yeah,
Um, Make You Feel My Love is an incredible one. Adele covered that. I'm trying to remember who sang the original. Um, but yeah, I mean, those are some examples I think of songs that are just so beautifully written and they just give you chills on your whole body. And I sit there as a songwriter and I'm like, oh my God, how do I ever write a song like that?
yeah. Um, oh, cool. Um, So, what do you find to be the biggest challenge with creating music in the age of social media?
That's another very good question.
Yeah.
I think social media is such an amazing tool, and I feel really grateful because I've been fortunate enough to build a bit of a fan base who really understands me and really holds me accountable as a songwriter. I really think the songs that my fans make go viral are my best songs, and I think they expect a lot from me as a songwriter, so I really try to be thoughtful with my lyrics, and I really try to make songs that they would be proud of. And so I'm really grateful for social media in that way because it's just allowed me to connect with so many people, and I'm really really proud of the audience that I've kind of built. I think we are the same kind of people, and we have, again, the same kind of experiences, and that's just really cool for me. Um, I think the challenge is, I would say comparison is honestly the biggest challenge because I think we all experience though, whether or not you're a songwriter or you're just in school or whatever it is, social media is a highlight reel. And so every day when you're looking at other people's Instagram and other people's TikTok and other people's highlight reel, and you're comparing it to your real kind of darker moments, you're thinking, well, they're happy all the time and they have this perfect life and they have this perfect relationship and they, all these things. And then you're sitting there being like, wait, but if I don't have all those things, am I not as good as them, or am I not worthy like they are? And so I've really had to kind of work through that as a human and as a songwriter and as an artist, because sometimes I'll see people getting opportunities and I'm like, I know I would be able to do such an amazing job at that, but it's just not meant for me in that moment. And I've had to really work through that. And I have to remind myself that people aren't showing the moments where they're questioning themselves, and people aren't showing the moments where they're feeling vulnerable and insecure.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when am always when I'm like trying to post something on social media, I try to be like, I want to show, that not everything is sunshine and
Yeah.
rainbows all the time, and that there's hard things too, and things that I go through every day that people don't see. That I'm like, I want people to know so they don't feel alone and know nothing is perfect.
And I think we need more people like you who are willing to show those moments because that is just the human experience. There
Yeah.
are good days and bad days and awful days and great days, and nothing is forever. And I just think it's really hard for people to see through the highlight reel and see through the fakeness of it all.
Yeah.
And so I think the more that people like you, and I try sometimes to do this as well, like to really show the bad moments or really show the vulnerable moments or the insecure moments or,
Yeah.
the moments of self-doubt or whatever it is, I think that really A, connects us, and B, makes us realize that we're not alone in that feeling.
Yeah, definitely. So what song best describes your life right now?
Of my own or of someone else's?
Either.
Ooh, these are fantastic questions. What
Thank
song
you.
best describes my life right now? Um, I would say I have a song called Energy Lucky Me, and it's all about manifesting, and it's all about just like putting out positive energy so that, you can live your best life and manifest all the things that your heart desires. And I've really been focusing on that lately because I've got a lot of things that I'm working towards and a lot of things that I want to kind of come to fruition. And so I would say Energy Lucky Me because I'm really just trying to stay positive and stay in a good mindset and take care of my body and take care of my mental health. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So what was your favorite childhood book, and did you like take any lessons from that?
My favorite childhood book. I would say, I have to think about this. I think it was probably Oh, the Places You'll Go. I think that's Dr. Seuss, right?
Oh yeah.
Dr. Seuss. And I just love the idea of like, I love traveling, I love exploring, I love adventures, but I think, always coming home to the people who love you and always coming home to yourself and who you are at your core is so important.
Yeah.
So I would say that.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, so if you could eliminate one thing from your daily schedule, what would it be and why?
Ooh, um, if I could eliminate one thing from my daily schedule. I mean, I'm pretty fortunate that because I don't have, a traditional 9 to 5 job, I kind of get to come up with my own schedule, which is really empowering and I love that. I would say, you know what it would be? It would be driving because I live in LA and everything is really far. And so I spend a lot of time in the car, which is nice because I like to listen to music and I like to listen to podcasts and things like that. But I spend quite a bit of time driving in traffic.
Mm,
So I would say if I could get rid of driving in traffic, that would be my number one.
yeah, yeah, I've been to LA several times and my mom is always the one who drives, and she um she says she's weird because because like she doesn't get why people don't like driving there
Really?
because she's like I think it's fine. I just we get lost a lot. So
It's honestly, driving is not the worst. Like, especially if you're like driving near the ocean, you can put your windows down. It's like a beautiful day. That's like a vibe, you know? Get a
yeah,
good song going. Driving
yeah,
in traffic sucks.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I do agree with you on that. And I think my mom would agree with
Yeah.
that
But
too.
tell your mom I don't think she's that crazy because a good drive is always fun.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell her. Yeah. So what motivates you every day?
I think, to be honest, I just have this internal motivation. Like I think I'm pretty self-motivated and I think I've always been that way since I was a kid. I've always been very ambitious. I've always been really hardworking. I've always wanted to live, like an extraordinary life and touch people and do something important. And so I think like that's just kind of in me. I think my parents also raised me to be that way, I always say I was raised to believed that I was really smart and capable. And I was always told that instead of being like told, you're so pretty, I was told, you're so smart and you're so capable. And so I'm really grateful to my parents for that because um, that's what they put into my head. I also think, to be honest, as I've developed a little bit of a fan base over the years, like my fans really motivate me. I feel a bit of a sense of obligation in a really positive way to them because when they tell me that like my songs have helped them or that I've said something that really, resonated with them and made them feel seen and made them feel supported, that motivates me to keep going when this industry gets really tough and it motivates me to challenge myself in the songs that I write and try to say something that maybe I haven't said before or maybe that I feel like I need to hear and so maybe it's something that someone else needs to hear. So yeah, I would say those two things.
Oh, cool. I love that. Of all that you have accomplished so far, is there something that you are the most proud of?
Honestly, I think the thing that I'm most proud of is like my relationship with my fans. And I got to go on tour this last spring and I got to meet some of them for the first time in person. And it was just the most emotional, moving experience of my life. Because, you connect with people over a screen and you connect with people online, but to really get to see people in person and to get to hug people and to get to talk about your shared experiences with them is so just moving and amazing.
Yeah.
And I think I've been so fortunate to create this fan base of people that like I'm proud of them and I'm proud of the people that they are and I'm proud of their character. And so to be able to say that like I'm a part of that community and I'm a part of this group of people that I think are so admirable and amazing is something that I'm so proud of. And I just hope that I can continue to build that and continue to meet people in person and get to hug people and, see them wearing a Morgan St. Jean t-shirt or see people getting my lyrics tattooed on their body. Like things like that are just, that's stuff that will stick with me for my whole life.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love that. I think that's so cool. Yeah. Um, so I love inspiring or motivational quotes. And this week, my favorite quote is by Winnie the Pooh because he is my favorite.
Oh,
And I felt like, I needed a little Winnie the Pooh in my life this week. And it says, a day without laughter is a day wasted. Um,
love
is
that.
yeah. Yeah, is there a quote that has inspired you lately?
One of my favorite quotes ever, and my friend actually got it. My friend for my birthday one year got me a songwriting journal, and she put this quote on the cover, and it meant so much to me. It says, "Happiness is a journey, not a destination." Like I
Yeah.
think trying to find happiness every day and joy every day rather than always waiting for the thing like, oh, if I just get this thing, then I'll be happy. If I just do this thing, or if I meet this, whatever it is, then I'll be happy. And then we wake up and it's been 5 years and you're like, wait, am I happy yet? Like,
Yeah.
I got all these things that I wanted, or I did all these things that I wanted, and I'm still not happy. And so I think really finding joy and finding happiness in the daily, just normal stuff is so important.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like that quote. Um, yeah. Well, that was my last question. And I just want to say it was so much fun talking to you, and I really appreciate you taking the time
Well,
to
you are
call in and
you are
join me.
so sweet. And truly, you've asked some of the most thoughtful questions I think I've ever been asked.
Oh,
So
thank
you
you.
certainly have a knack for this. And
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you.
excited for you and everything everything to come for you. And you're just such a light. And I'm grateful that you had me.
Thank you so much.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I can't wait to hear all your new music and see everything that you continue to do.
Me too.
And that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest with Maya. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.